Right, we are now on recording, and Rachel is establishing who is a good singer and who isn't. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to.
I do say I'm a singer-songwriter, so
well, there you go.
it depends on the key.
It's now bragging about their singing-songwriting abilities, but we will be with you shortly.
It's in the wrong key.
Is there a way to get everyone in?
Probably not. No. So, hello.
Is it on gallery view?
We're on gallery view.
Good.
And so now they've stopped wittering. This is just like a choir practice to me. Witterage everywhere. Hello, welcome to the Love in physical meeting. We've had a lovely day so far. We've had cacao, a gong bath, a walk by the canal, and now we're going to raise our vibration even a little bit further with some silly singing, and some serious singing probably. And the whole idea being that we open the heart and we do things very differently. So anything that comes in, inspirations, it's heart-led. We're doing it with an open heart. We're lifted out of the lower vibrations. So anything that comes in is coming from source and our connection with the universe.
Lynn, do you want to just scan around the room so people can see who's turning it round?
So, okay, let me introduce people to those who have not met before. We have Jo, lovely Jo over here, and next to her is David. So David's come up from Canterbury today, which is nice, and all the way, probably our longest distance traveller is Carrie from Cornwall.
Oh.
We have John from Buxton.
Derby.
Derby.
I live in Derby.
Derby.
Yeah.
Julie. Hello, Julie. We all know Julie. Rachel, of course, we all know Rachel.
Rachel love.
So
Roger's joining us.
Roger is joining us.
Roger.
Inzi. And over here we have Alan from Leicester, who I've met a few times at various events, haven't we? And who runs do you want to tell them what you do? Because you've got quite an interesting little bit, haven't you?
It'd take too long.
Well, he runs Live Wild. He runs Live Wild and Free, and is very into good living, good nutrition.
Yeah, livewildlivefree.org.
Livewildlivefree.org.
Wow.
So, hello, Roger. If you can hear us, we have you here.
Hi, Roger.
He's not coming onto camera, but that's okay. We'll leave him to
Here
it.
he comes.
Oh, here he is.
Hey.
Hello, Roger. Hello, Roger. I was just doing a little introduction there, saying
There's a whole group of us round. It's not just us four here.
saying how what we've been doing today. So we've been raising our energy with a little cacao drink and blessing. We've had a lovely gong bath. And we were blissed out. A walk by the canal, and we're going to just do a little bit of silly singing, and then we're going to just see what ideas come to us from source, because singing is about activating the voice, which is part of the heart center.
Would it be okay if I read a poem? I did bring.
Certainly, yes. So, Carrie, would you like to open up with a poem?
I just have to pop up.
Okay, so
sorry, I can't remember. It's not long and boring. It's okay.
Okay, good. And Carrie's bringing us a poem. So I did just introduce people, Roger. We have Jo over here. We have David from Canterbury. Carrie has just walked out the room for a poem. She's from Cornwall. John from Derby. Julie, you know. Rachel, you know. And Alan from Leicestershire. Anstey. Okay. It's all Leicester to me.
Okay, well, hello everybody.
Hello, Roger.
Hope it's going okay for you.
Yes, we're having a lovely day. It's been nice. We've been able to get outside a little bit, haven't we? Which has been lovely. I think it might rain in a bit, but our morning has been very pleasant. And here's Carrie with a poem to open things up.
Just a very short one.
You might have to speak up a bit.
Okay, can you hear me? Is that good?
Roger, can you hear her? Can you just give her?
I can hear.
Okay,
lovely.
That's cool. Okay, it's called "You Are Invisible." You are stardust in a magician's garden, the quartz gem in a crystal cave, the moving breeze on a wind chime. In ocean depths, you are the making of a wave. You are the moonlit labyrinth of a secret shared, the elusive spirit of every tree. You are the holographic image that makes me think. If I am you, then you indeed are me.
Ooh. So yeah, I think we can take heart from the interconnectedness of everything. So I mean, in theory, you can influence everything that is going on, not to be sinister and try to get into people's minds and make them do things, but it does mean that your energy can change what's happening in the world. So last week we had Joe Dispenza doing the walk for the world. Rachel did it, I did it. Did you do it as well, Julie? Yeah, John did it. So a few of us walked with this meditation in our ears, and this is people will say this is woo-woo and completely pointless, but what actually has been discovered with actual measured scientific method is that when a group of people get together and meditate or pray, the crime rate in that area goes down, and the heart attacks in that area go down, and the car accidents in that area go down. Now, if you're a really cynical scientist like me, you'll say, gosh, these people must be a one-man crime wave. Lock them up for an hour and the crime rate goes down. But let's assume that they're really good people, heart-led, and they're meditating together for the betterment of the world, and they're just praying in gratitude and praying in a good vibration. Just getting together and doing that means that the whole area around them is influenced. So we can change this by changing our own energy. We must never think that we can't, there's nothing we can do. We can always do that. And Roger, thank you for stepping forward to be an MP. I was delighted to get that. So big applause for our latest MP, Roger.
Well, somebody's got to do it. And I can't wait 4 years because the society might be destroyed by then. I mean, the legislation which is being passed now is so overtly tyrannical. You know, nobody can say that they've missed it. We haven't missed it. We can see what they're doing. They're allowing, with the help of the police, engineers from the energy companies to break into your house and install a smart meter. Is that tyranny or not?
Well, of course it is. Yeah. So we know what's going on, and we know, like you say, it is now so blatant that if we don't actually speak out against it, they can say we've consented, because it is that blatant now. There is no excuse for not knowing. And so
this might help other people step up as well, because that's what we need.
Yeah, and it's important that whatever, although we want to look at the solutions, we don't want to be problem orientated, but the fact remains that if you see something that's wrong and you don't at least say and try and intervene, or then there is no option. You are complicit. So you have to at least speak out, at least let people know, no, this is not okay, it's not right, and this is how it should be. So we all have that duty anyway. Even we don't want to focus on the problem, we still have to uphold the Constitution, uphold people's rights, and not be complicit in the tyranny that's going on. It's as simple as that. It's something I learned a long time ago at a bus station.
It so we can see you
at a bus station when I was seeing somebody receiving some abuse, and I started to walk over, and my mother-in-law grabbed me and don't very fearful, and I stepped back, and I vowed never again would I step back from that situation. I would always speak up and say that this is not okay, and we don't treat people like that. And it's just important we do, just so that we're not complicit, because that's bad for us if we're complicit. But that said, we also concentrate on building our things and our new. So right, we're going to just have a little voice activation. I think have you written a song or something? Is this what this is about?
Yeah, we wrote this song.
Okay, so we're going to do a little voice activation, then see if Rachel can teach us a song, because that's another great thing for opening up the heart. Is this is inspired from your area, actually, Roger. Let's see.
Are you-
On your
are we
feet,
gonna do this?
people.
Yeah.
On your feet. So, I learnt this living in Yorkshire. If you put your guitar down, you're going to need it. So, it's a sort of ancient Yorkshire method adopted by the Yorkshire cricket team. No, Yorkshire cricket team groupies for bringing the energy in from the earth. And it's called the Yorkshire Hacker. Okay, so we start and we go, yee, by gum. And so we do that twice, and then we go, where's me whippet? Okay, we do that twice. So we, where's me whippet? Okay, and the next bit we do twice is, how much? How much? And then the next bit is, I'll see thee, I'll see thee, I'll see thee. Okay, we ready? There we go. With energy. Where's the whippet? Where's the whippet? How much? How much? I'll see thee. I'll see thee. I'll see thee. I didn't even know that. So yeah, I'm sure that he's seen the Barmy Army do this. Okay, and then we'll do a little My Bonnie. My Bonnie lies over the ocean, and we'll do this with a little bit of brain. So on the bees, you drop and then you rise. So my Bonnie lies over the ocean, my Bonnie lies over the sea. My Bonnie lies over the ocean, so bring back my Bonnie to me. Bring back, oh, bring back my Bonnie to me, to me. Bring back, oh, bring back my Bonnie to me. And then we have to, obviously, you should try that much faster. But, that's enough of that. Now we'll do a couple of rounds. So do you know? What would you know? No, let's do one you don't know. So Bella Mama is Indonesian, I believe. Yeah. So it goes, Bella Mama, yeah. Oh, breath. So try that. Bella Mama, yeah. Next bit. Bella Mama, yeah. Bella Mama, yeah. Bella Mama, yeah. Bella Mama, Bella Mama, Bella Mama. Bella Mama, yay. Bella Mama, yay. So put it all together. Bella Mama, yay. Bella Mama, yay. Okay, this half. Now the idea is you carry on. Yeah, they'll come a bit later actually. They'll come in a bit earlier. That's it. We could split into 4. We could do anything, but let's leave it at that because there's definite uncertainty about the notes. Okay, so we'll do a quick sea chanty, and we'll do a little bit of harmony for it. So the words starts off with I heard the old man say, and then we split into harmony. So if we start by doing John kanaka naka do yay. Okay. John kanaka naka do yay. Okay, so let's just try that bit. So I I heard the old man say, John, canal, today is a holiday. John, canal, and then to-ri-a-o, to-ri-a-o. Well, you're doing the tune. Okay, I'm trying to think of the harmony, sorry. To-ri-a-o, to-ri-a-o. And then John, canal, to-ri-a. Okay, and it's John, no, sorry, it's John, canal, to-ri-a. Okay.
This is all a little bit complicated.
Yeah. So if you want to put the tune in, that's fine.
Fisherman's Friends do this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to put some harmony in, fine. That's so.
Sorry.
John, yay. Let's try it then. Ready? I heard the old man say, John, yay. Today's a holiday. John, yay. To John. So if you want, some of you have got that. You want to put the other bit of harmony in. John, so today is a holiday. John, do-ra-yay. That's the bass, right? You'll go, John, do-ra-yay. Okay, yeah, the tune.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What's it? John, do-ra-yay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. One. So off we go then. I heard the old man say, oh, today's a holiday. John, John, right. Okay, so got you warmed up, doing a little bit of harmony, and now I'd like to hear your song. Now we're all ready to learn it. Yes. So we've got compositions going on.
John, I was thinking that we could do a warm-up practice with the first two. Is it an E and an A? Just do that so we can do a rehearse, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to do?
You like the first two chords of the intro?
Yeah.
I'll keep doing that. Hallelujah. 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 Just reversing it. Hallelujah. You got that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, still playing, I'll sing it.
So we're going to start. You want me to? Oh, I'm going to do them because I know the order.
Okay.
And I have to. Sorry, I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to slightly put them in places I can get to them.
Yeah.
Well, probably figured out we didn't actually write this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to call it one of these sort of
And so we all join in
synchronistic.
and join in with whatever words you know. But I will hold up the signs to join in with the chorus. So John's going to do the main verses, and when we split, and I'll do this bit.
Okay then.
Take it away.
I really want to see you. I really want to see you. I really want to see you, Lord, but it takes so long. I really wanna know you. I really wanna go. I really wanna show you that it was take long, my love. Sweet Lord, I wanna see you. I really wanna see you. I really wanna see you. I really wanna see you. But it's what you take my love. Sweet Lord, my sweet Lord, my sweet Lord. I really wanna know you. I really wanna go with you. I really wanna show you that it won't take long, my Lord. My sweet Lord, my sweet Lord. Here we go.
It's immense, Ben.
My sweet Lord. My sweet Lord. I know. My sweet Lord. I really wanna see you. I really wanna please you. I really wanna see you, Lord. My Lord. My sweet Lord, my sweet Lord, my sweet Lord. Yeah, that was the practice rating. Yeah.
Something can be done with it.
I can see the writing.
That was good though, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
No,
thank you.
it was great. It's very effective.
We have been rehearsing that.
No, it wasn't.
Now we've got John Paul and Joe.
So, yes.
One up over.
Why do
we need one?
No, it's just the.
Oh,
You've only practiced the one.
Okay, so, right, hopefully all hearts are open and voices and everything, and now we look at a little bit of what's going on in the 3D world. Now, I've printed off this enormous map of the constituencies, so that we have a visual in future, and basically what we're going to do at some point is all find our constituencies, which will be Verity. Can I just oh, there you are. So would you go up to the printer and see what's printed off, my darling?
Now that is a printer. Yeah.
No, it's not my printer. I sent away and said I'd like a big copy of this constituencies, and they sent me back going, resolution's too low, can't see the text. And I know that, but I want a big visual so that I can colour it in, and I will have the original at home, with hopefully the text and the list of constituencies, and hopefully we can get them filled in and we can see where we want to put people and where we don't, and where we've got to get some people together. And we can also look at whether other like-minded people are standing in that area, and cross that off our list maybe, and just put an endorsement out for them to say we endorse you. I don't know you know, who we want to do that to, maybe Andrew Bridgen. I don't know. I'm not sure that he's entirely aligned with our stuff, but he's definitely on the right lines as far as being an MP is concerned at the moment, isn't he? Even if he hasn't been in the
His
past.
heart's in the right place.
Thank you, Julie. So Julie's assessed the heart energy, which is wonderful, and it's in the right place. So we have that to go at, and we've got Roger to colour in, which is brilliant. Which one is it, Roger?
York Central.
York Centre. Oh, he's going right straight in there. It's right in the heart of York.
Well, we've got to find out where Yorkshire is now. Where's
So Yorkshire is
somewhere
around
over
here, and the York area.
Well,
I think
it's quite north, isn't it?
Yorkshire is quite north, yes.
That's, that must be there actually, because it's.
So we will be able to colour you in, Roger, and that's something that we're going to do. I'm going to need glasses for that one. Let's have a look. Oh look, some tickets for something, and that didn't. The list of constituents didn't print off, so I'll have to do that in a minute, in a bit. So we've got the map that I printed it out on, which is extremely tiny, and we will need a little bit of a magnifying glass to decipher it. But basically, we're going to match them up, and then as we see them light up, we can see it spread across the UK. Is the idea. It helps me. I don't know whether it helps anyone else, but I'm happy to have this here. We've got Alan.
Is this, can I ask, well, I'm going to ask
Yeah.
first of all what the view is at the moment about the boundary changes and whether they are ratified yet. Apparently 99 point whatever % certain to be ratified, but do you know that they have been ratified yet?
Well, this is advertised as the constituencies for now. I think they the new boundaries definitely applied in the ward elections. It seems to have been confirmed. Tech is saying he's standing for the newly created Melton System.
Yeah.
I think
So
at the
Charnwood,
moment,
as I understand it, Charnwood is changing, or most of Charnwood is changing to be Mid Leicestershire.
yes, I think. I mean, at this stage, I'm going to assume that they're going through.
All right.
I think I'm pretty sure they are. We've been using them already for the local elections, so it's hard to see that they wouldn't. But if they don't, we stick somewhere nearby.
At least we've got the general geographical.
Yeah, as long as we've got somebody around. Now, the thing is with constituency MPs, they don't have to live in the area. They do need endorsing.
Roger still can't see you.
They do need endorsing from 10 people who do live in the constituency. So
But my experience of getting endorsements, it was so easy.
yeah,
And they knew nothing about me as such.
they don't need to. They're
Yeah.
basically just confirming that you're
Yeah.
physical,
that
that you do exist, that you have got people saying you exist and they've met you. Doesn't really say much more than that, though it does call it an endorsement.
But it doesn't need to, and they don't even have to vote.
No, they don't. A lot of them don't vote, do they? So
They have to be on the electoral register.
They have to be on the electoral register. That is true. So that's our only criteria for standing somewhere.
It's a £500 deposit.
It's a £500 deposit. We'll hopefully talk about crowdfunding. I think we should be encouraging people to do that in their local areas, because apart from anything else, it engages the local areas.
My understanding also, sorry to interrupt, my understanding standing as an independent is that if you want to be your own election agent, then you must be standing in a constituency that adjoins the one in which you live.
Not in the actual constituency.
You don't have to live in your constituency.
But you must live
that you're
nearby.
staying. But you must, this is what I was advised by my head of election law at Loughborough, is that you must live in the constituency that adjoins the one that you're standing in if you want to be your own election agent.
Or you can do in your own constituency.
And definitely
Yeah,
you can
right.
do it in your own
constituency, but also something adjoining.
That's right.
I would think
That's
most
right.
people would want to stand in their own,
Yeah.
because they're
But if we've got two people
but
in
it's
one
not always the
constituency,
case.
then we need to
They
know
would,
that.
Yeah.
you know, we
Yeah.
found that there are people who would prefer not to be known,
And
not to
there's
be in an
also-
area where they're
Well, I'm in
Yeah,
a situation
yeah.
where if I'm able to, then I will, for my own reasons, move into the adjoining constituency.
And also, isn't there something to do with if you work in a different constituency, you can also be for that constituency that you work in or where you live.
Well, as a constituency MP, you can stand anywhere. They can jet you in from anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was I was under that impression, and then it transpired
That's
you
true
stand
for
in any
locals.
constituency.
Right,
For locals, it's definitely the case that you have to either live or work where you're standing.
right,
But for the constituency ones, you know, you can
Fair,
stand, you can live
yeah.
abroad.
right.
You know, I know. So it's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. I personally think it's a good idea to do it where you live. I just think that's sort of right. There's something right about that you represent.
People
That you represent your local area.
Absolutely.
You know, that you're
And
not just doing it as a
hopefully
career
understand your
move.
local area.
Yeah. I mean, you know, this parachuting people in, you know, that are approved, Central Party approved, is very annoying. It does.
And that
pee
you
off
never live
people.
to really experience.
Yeah.
Because Until you've lived somewhere, you don't know.
Well, that's the thing with the
Thanks, Prof.
Conservative Party. I just know this is like, if there's a safe seat, they will just put someone
Put
in.
their little favourite person
Yeah,
in.
it's a
which
safe
is
seat,
exactly
go
what's happened
there,
here.
and they don't live there, have no connection with there, and it's just a ticket to Westminster.
This
It's
is exactly
outrageous, absolutely outrageous.
exactly what happened here when Ken Clark left. I mean, I'm not saying I wasn't a big fan of Ken Clark.
He was all right until he got in.
Well, my experiences of him were arrogant, a lot of arrogance.
Stood up to
but
Boris
he did.
Johnson.
He stood up to. Well, he stood up for what he wanted to stand up for, like bird watching and that sort of stuff.
But before he got in, I was more impressed with him than when he
Well,
did get in.
this is often the case, isn't it? As we were with Ruth Edwards, she put a, you know, very much impressed the local Conservative Party over the local candidate, and they put her in as the candidate. And of course, as soon as she's listed by the Conservative Party in this area, she's going to get in. You know, it's that area. It's that sort of area. Until I get in, obviously. Until I get in.
And this is part of the pattern interrupt, because that is what is not going to happen with our constituency.
Exactly.
I would be really surprised if Conservatives do well in the next election, even for a safe seat, because they've just been so crap.
I agree.
For everyone.
I agree.
There is this there's two points on that. The one thing that the Tories are always really good at doing is the one thing that Tories are always really good at doing is getting the message across. At least we're not as bad as Labour. This, because they would do this. That's what they're really good at doing, which doesn't particularly increase the number of people voting for them, but it does stop people voting for Labour.
But we're awakening the sleeping.
We're awakening the sleep, and that's
really
the
key.
second point.
Yeah, sorry.
That was absolutely the second point. Is that actually what we're wanting to do is not aim for those people who are going to vote Labour and Tory. We're aiming for the ones that are not voting, who are
and not by dissing the ones that
not by dissing that they're sort of irrelevant to me now. The Lib Lab Tory Green SNP lot, irrelevant, totally irrelevant. This is about us building from the bottom up, representing our local people. I'm very hopeful that we won't need Westminster for much longer, but as we've started to say, people like AJ Roberts have started to say to me, and I'm getting it in my head now, top down, bottom up, as in take it down from the top and build it up from the bottom. So
make them tourist attractions only.
Possibly, yes. And
then we won't believe the history that we went through.
No, I know, absolutely. So I think regaining our sovereignty here is brilliant. Anything in Westminster is interim. Just teaching people to be sovereign again, really. I don't think it's much more than that. Maybe, I mean, if you get it, and if we get the Westminster swamped with wonderful freedom MPs, it will cushion the rebuilding of the society.
There is bound to be chaos, but we're going to come through that with the
it doesn't have to be unpleasant chaos. It doesn't have to be. I really believe that we can. The more resistance there is to this change, the more it's going to hurt, and the more we roll with it, the easier and the happier it's going to be. Which is why it's so important to uplift ourselves and keep ourselves uplifted, and the fact that we by doing so, we're influencing what's going on around us because our energy is measurable away from us. It's measurable quite a long way away from us, you know. So
can I just say something on this, Lynn, that like this weight of authority and all of these authorities and all of these huge amounts of government organizations, all of the salaries that are paid and all of these jobs worths and all of the, I mean, it's just like huge, absolutely huge, and so unnecessary that we need such a huge government to organize, because it's just not needed. And it's almost like they're self-sustaining, these authorities that just to keep going, keep themselves in jobs.
It takes that many people to make such a big bullseye. You can't, I know one person could not do it. It's so true.
Just to lighten this load of administrative red tape nonsense, it's just quite incredible.
Well, all the astrology is saying that the top-down stuff is dissolving,
It is.
and the bottom
It's
up
madness,
stuff.
madness implodes by itself, and that's what
It
we're
does.
seeing.
And we do not need degree politicians. We need genuine people that understand life.
That's it.
So while we
who represent the people, not political parties and big corporate interests.
So the big advantages of standing for election are that it's a way of getting our message out there, showing people the alternative. And it's a way that a lot of people who are still watching the BBC can connect with. So we're trying to connect with people who are not in the political system currently, who are disenchanted. So things like leaflets through doors, they connect with people like that, meeting hustings, doing what Patricia's doing in Wakefield every Wednesday, I think, in the streets, giving out information. All that is showing people that there is something to vote for, that there's a different way of doing it. I think the big message to get across is that if you fail to use your vote, you are by default voting for the shit show. You are voting for the Tories and the tyranny if you fail to use your vote. Now, I know you may not agree with the system, you may not think it's legitimate, but if you don't vote, you're endorsing what we have.
And it's realising that they're choosing. And if they choose not to register to vote, they are already choosing to allow the people to get in that are in at the moment. If they're choosing not to use that vote when they are registered, they are choosing to allow those people to continue to dominate us. And we don't need that.
That's exactly it. It's a choice.
This is a really important thing in the freedom movement, isn't it? Like this feeling like if you register to vote or you get involved in the political system, you're endorsing it, which is kind of like we're saying the opposite here, is if you don't get involved, you're leaving an open goal for the establishment. And they don't care if only they don't care if like 20% of the people vote.
Nothing.
They only care about getting in, and so leaving them an open goal by not engaging in the political system, I think it's just like insane.
And even with that goal, the goal has been moved and widened so much. That we need to really get that focus.
But it's important to know this, and I get what you're saying with the freedom movement. I must say I've been through this journey myself. There are so many things that the freedom movement, I think, shoots themselves in the foot over by being as dogmatic as everyone else, but with their own ideology. It's like, this isn't legitimate, therefore we can't use it. Now, you know, money's a classic, isn't it? Oh, it's a illegitimate currency, you know, if you use it, you're endorsing it. If you've got money, you must be crook and all this sort of thing. Now, what my argument is with religion and politics and money is that spirit's bigger than that. The spirit is bigger, and it can piggyback the systems, whether it's legitimate or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't care that the money's false. It's a means of exchange that it can use. The energy of exchange can still travel through that illegitimate currency. It can do it, and you might as well use it. You know, by all means, you know, play the game, and just enjoy it. But know what's behind it for sure. But let spirit do its thing anyway,
and do it with love.
And it can all be here.
Let spirit do its thing anyway. You know, the political system, yes, it's rubbish. It's based on absolute and all the rest, but we can use it, and spirit can piggyback that system to bring about a good change. And you know, it did. You used to see it with religion. You can see why religion, and it only occurred to me the other day that it was really, really important to get rid of organized religion. And I thought, well, why? Because it was based on so much BS, and there's some very evil people at the top, and there was obviously some satanic stuff going on at the upper echelons.
Infiltrated.
But at the grassroots level, very sincere prayer and very sincere worship was going on in the correct way. So, and spirit was using that, and that's, in my opinion, why religion was one of the first things that was attacked and got rid of. So I used to get up on a Sunday morning and wander down the village. I didn't have a choice. It was newspaper delivery. But I was early. I was before everyone else, and it would be so calm and so peaceful because nobody worked on a Sunday. It was a day of rest, peace, worship. And then a little bit later on, bells would start ringing. Such a cleansing sound, really lovely. And the whole day felt different. And the whole day, and I now realize what that was about. And it's, spirit. Oh, you're getting goosebumpy. Spirit being able to use the sincerity of the grassroots. And I think it's the same everywhere. The grassroots tends to be sincere.
Makes you more accessible.
Which means that the spirit can use it. Which is why so many of our things have been had to be taken down from their point of view, because they're working. Even though they might be sat there scratching their heads. Why isn't it working when we've got this control of the top? It's because the grassroots are still doing it properly, still believing, still allowing energy to flow and spirit to come through. So I think the same is the same with the currency, same with politics. We can use it. We can let spirit flow through it. Doesn't mean we have to hang on to it forever. We can put our better, improve things.
Step is all we need. No.
Let it do its thing. Trust spirit. It's bigger than the corruption that's going on. Let it ride it. It's a wave it can ride. Let it do it, is my opinion. Alan, you might have an opinion.
I'm convinced. I have to be careful or I sound complacent, and I'm not. But I believe we've won this. I believe we won this before it started. And I believe so much in accentuating the positive. Otherwise, we are echoing the fearful messages. We behave and act as if we've won. And that is an infectious rallying call. The word of mouth is extraordinarily powerful.
Goodness me, yes.
And
it's the most powerful.
And they can't stop that, and they know that. And I believe I've been studying the newspapers for many, many decades and interpreting them in my own way, and media and the internet. I was one of the first into the internet. I ran one of the busiest websites in the world, all on a single PC, without a clue about IT. It was all about my writing and my creativity, and I've followed this and what's happening with mainstream media. I know we've won this, and when people see that in you, because we're all mirrors, we're all one. It's a really interesting idea, this notion of what it is to be an alive, sensing human being, and that Aboriginal wisdom is what I look to find the truth, the connectedness and spirit that you're talking about in any aspect of life, whether it's nutrition or politics or money or nature, relationships. The other interesting thing is that Einstein's theory, E equals mc squared. Well, M is mass. What mass has this conversation? What mass has this love? What mass has this spirit, cooperation? All of the fundamental enablers of human evolution, love. What mass has love? Love has no mass in Einsteinian theory. And so even Einsteinian theory and gravity, all of this is called into question by Aboriginal wisdoms. And when we connect to those things, that's my take on this. We've already won this. And I have scientific references as well for anyone that wants to challenge it. I can prove it scientifically as well. So that's my contribution.
Somebody, I think I posted it on Hearts, but they did this lovely analogy of the Spartan warrior stood with their spear and charging towards them was this war rhinoceros followed by hundreds of troops, and he just threw the spear, and the war rhinoceros, hit in the head, fell. Well, didn't fall, but carried on running for a bit, and then fell, and eventually slid to a halt at his feet. Now, the analogy is that at what point did that die? Was it when it was taken from the wild and changed? Was it when it had the arrow in the head, or was it at the point where it finally came to a stop? Doesn't really matter. En route, where since it died, it's still, the momentum is still behind it, causing the destruction and causing the problems, and the troops behind it still haven't caught on that their rhinoceros is dead. So I think we're in that phase, is that the momentum's still going, and yes, there's damage being done as a result of it, but it's actually, we're going to see it through, and we're going to see the end of it, and the end has happened. We've just got to let the momentum play out and rebuild.
Wonderful metaphor. In that video, the people that were being run towards just stood and positive. They knew it was going to fall.
Yes, they knew it had done.
And that is where we need.
It's finished. It's done. It's won, and that's something really cheerful we can try and get out there, because I think one of the things I'm noticing with Stand in the Parks and the freedom movement generally is there is still a lot of banging on about how dreadful they find it, and it's just like the same old woman, wittering, or what same person going on, the Tories are doing this, that, and the other. It's like, well, don't stand there talking about the problem. Let's get the it's finished, it's in the past. Get the solutions.
We are the
solutionaries. Solutionaries.
We are solutionaries. So it's a good, wonderful word. Very, very good. Does what everything we say. So that
and
was.
We need to live that. It has happened.
Yes, absolutely.
It's done.
And it is.
It's
That's
done.
the energy. We are. That's the consciousness that starts the subconscious everywhere, and it's collective.
We are that mirror.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think for a minute we sit back on our backside and go, "Oh, let's just walk it all happen." I think we've got a lot of work to do to raise our vibration.
And do that, everything deteriorates. We
Yeah,
stand
yeah.
up,
It's about vigilance.
positively assert.
And you concentrate, you watch
You
your
live it.
thoughts, you police your thoughts,
Yeah.
make sure that they're good ones, positive ones that are going in the right direction, and you be the example and let other people come, because people are waking up, and they're waking up fast, and it's not very pleasant for them sometimes. And sometimes you're finding that you're the one that they come to, and yes, they dished you a while ago and called you all sorts, and now they're interested. It's happened to me just recently in the pub, people asking, and at one point they stormed off because I said something about Ukraine being a money laundering thing, and they sort of stormed out, and then they came back and said, what do you mean it's a money laundering thing? And I was like, well, where does just follow the money? Where's it gone? Where's it ended up? It's gone from us, it's gone to them, and that's it. The route there, whether it's via COVID or Ukraine or whatever, is irrelevant. The wealth transfer is what's happening, and you can see
It's hold that space, drop the seeds.
but good on them for questioning it, because everyone's waking up at different points,
And they will feel uncomfortable,
It-
and that's fine.
Yeah,
You just-
it is
I
comfortable.
was going to make that point,
Yeah.
that their world has been turned upside down, the rug's been pulled from under them.
Remember
Like,
that feeling? I've had it.
And so they're seeing what's happening, but then they don't know what to do.
No, it's like
Yeah.
And there was a country years ago, and I can't remember which country it was, but this person had visited it while it was going through war stuff. And then after, the people then realised how they'd been duped into behaving like they did, because they thought those were genuine. And then they're like, right, how do we get out of this? How do we adjust? Now we realise what has happened. And we need to support them through that trauma, because it will be a trauma and stressful.
it's very. I mean, I can remember going through it. I mean, I sort of had my doubts. Like, there's a lot of things like 9/11 that you're like, yeah, right, pull the other one with the bells on, and that sort of attitude. But it was COVID where I finally sort of went, and there was that moment of, what have we walked into, and how do we get out of this? And there was terror, and there was grief that the systems I thought were in place to protect us were not. And because I was like, no, the courts check the police, and the police weren't, are independent of the government. Oh God, Oh, innocent. Do I sound like
Thankfully, I've had some life experiences to help me to
But
realise.
you see
that
what I mean?
sort
I
of thing.
certainly
Yeah.
remember the feeling of grief of loss,
Yeah.
loss for my children that they weren't having a decent system to come into. And
But this is why we've all been born now.
Yes.
And why we've been together.
it's the Great Awakening. 8 billion souls have come here for this. It's, you know, a big exciting time.
And our children are here to move it forwards.
Yes, we're the bridging generation.
Of
course we are.
We love doing that, Bridge.
I just want to say this on behalf of the boys, well, certainly my boys, they are so awake, thanks to people like Joe Rogan and all of those kind of cool dudes on YouTube.
And
They
TikTok,
don't
actually.
believe,
Yeah.
they don't believe the bullshit narrative at all on anything. Like they're questioning everything, flat Earth,
Mhm.
like a sound and energy and Tesla and frequency. They're completely blown open. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's
So-
lovely that you've got that experience, but I still know others that haven't got
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But I think, but peer
they
to
are waiting.
peer, because they're not learning, they're not getting it from me. They're getting it from other cool
but-
dudes.
But your experience is different to some
Mm.
people that are
Yeah.
still with the blinkers
Yeah,
on.
but I'm just saying that once
Yeah.
once they that's where they're going to learn from their friends and their
Mhm.
those kind
Yeah,
of
it's-
lighting the
and
fire.
the lights will be in certain places more than others,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
others will
Everybody's
start
on
to-
their own path. Everybody is.
Exactly. So there's some who have woken up like me, who went sort of, oh God, that hurt, you know. Oh wow, what's happened? Yeah. And then there's others who have gone around blithely going, oh no, it's fine, you know, I've got the jab, that's wonderful, you know, lovely. And then of course a percentage of those come to grief with that and they wake up that way. And then there's the other ones who sort of suddenly they're personally affected by ULEZ or something like that, and they start to question the climate change, and then oh my
ULEZ has been
gosh,
huge. I think ULEZ
Yeah.
has been a
Yeah, a
huge
real favour for
way.
us.
Yeah.
you know, especially 20-mile-an-hour zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How dare they? Like, oh yes, the Welsh thing. That
Yeah.
and you're from Wales.
I'm
aren't
from
you?
Wales.
Like the,
I'm not going to go down the ULEZ route because we might start condoning what might be considered illegal activity, and we are. So yes, I know. You know, obviously, plastic bags and wire cutters and things like that are very cheap.
Blade
And should be used responsibly in the home. She says with her tongue firmly in her cheek. So yeah, black paint. Yeah, I mean it's awful when people get hold of black paint. You can see what that does. Oh dear, or spray. Oh. Yeah, that silly string. Yeah. Quite disruptive. Quite disruptive.
I thought revolution.
Anyway, so yes, you can see what I mean, that this is waking people up in different ways, and people have got their own different routes from getting there. They don't all have to come in and crash and go, oh God, that hurt. And then, but I think where I'm at with the freedom movement is they haven't, all of them, a lot of them have not moved on. It's like, yes, they're still in the grief and the fear. You know, it's like, oh, we're all going to be chipped, we're all going to be this, we're all going to, you know, still in the grief and the fear. And actually, I'm like, you know, couple haven't even done gong baths and things like that. They haven't experimented with the raising of the vibration. That aspect has still to be explored. And I think it's absolutely crucial for the awakening. It can't happen on its own by just knowing that this shit show is happening and the politics of it. It's absolutely got to be accompanied by a spiritual awakening. It's because it's all interconnected, and without that spiritual awakening, you know, what they're putting out there is just disruptive and actually doing the job of the megalomaniacs for them. It's putting the fear out there. So we have to try and get that out to, I think, the freedom movement. Just look, we know the problems, and well done for being awake, but you need to wake further. You need to wake spiritually as well,
and work together with all
It's happening. My view on this is that these wider energies know what they're doing. And there is a reason for everything, and that all of these people that we can look at and think, well, maybe they should be doing it or could be doing it in a different way. We'll look back on it and say, oh, well, that's why it worked like that. Nature, we're part of nature and the cosmos. These energies know what they're doing, and there are reasons for all of this. And people, everybody needs a different teacher. So we're useful for teaching the next generational wave of teachers and leaders coming through, that I believe. But then, okay, where who teaches everybody else? Well, everybody else teaches everybody else in their own way.
It's a bridging thing.
We
And I
each
think-
have our own journey.
Mm.
We've all got our own different role within
Mm.
that, and that's why we come together.
And it's really important to, you know, not diss people who you think are sleepy or, oh God, they've only just woken up to this. Because what I've seen recently, especially, is, you know, I've been doing energy work for a long time, way before COVID, way before I realized that it was connected in any way. And some people who were, I mean, yes, they were in the freedom movement, but they're in the angry energy of, you know, and suddenly they've leapfrogged over me. You know, some people's awakening is much more rapid. It's, you know, I might be chugging along with my energy stuff and whatever. And some people are just leapfrogging us. So it's just, you know, watch out for them waking up and, you know, be ready to support them and be ready to realise they've actually overtaken you in terms of up leveling.
Yeah.
And sometimes
happening
those
a lot.
people can be quite a challenge, shall I say, to
Well,
them.
suddenly you're like, whoa, where did it come from?
But also sometimes I've found some people can be quite like that.
Yeah.
Okay, glad you're sort of on board now,
But they're into,
let
you
me
know,
be me
there's
as well.
galactic energies and things like that, which is not where I am at the moment. But other people have sort of leapfrogged and they're seeing all these, you know, they're seeing and communicating with things that are not of this earth, and it's a bit difficult for people who are still not there. But you know, don't dismiss it. Let them, you know, listen. Let them teach you now, because they now leapfrogged and they've gone a little bit above. But you have to. It's so important to spiritually up level. I mean, even if you're just going to look at the Constitution and the common law, if you want to, you know, you will hear William Keat tell you that this is a spiritual thing. You have to be a conscious population for this constitution to be upheld. An unconscious population can't uphold it. They don't even realize they're being oppressed. They have to be conscious for the constitution to be applicable, to be able to be used. So it's really important just to do that. And I think I have certainly learned how to stand in my right, in my power, talking to people like Roger and William, and, you know, saying, oh, the law does work for me. The law does work for me.
God is my authority.
God is
That's
the
what I say.
authority.
God is my authority. No
Yeah.
other authority. God
The
is my
government is the
authority.
servant. I am the master. God is the authority. And
if you prefer universe or whatever,
but you have to know and own that,
there is a,
because otherwise you're going to go,
It's a
oh,
mindset. It's a
policeman.
mindset. It's like
It's
you have no
absolute.
authority. God is my authority. God is my authority. No one has any other authority.
And then I mean, yes, they might then resort to thuggery. You've then pushed them into criminal activity and put them in the wrong, which they don't like, you know, not comfortable with. So, you know, I know it's not a very comfortable thing. Nobody wants to be arrested and put in prisons and things like that. But you have then, by standing in your power and asserting, you know, actually, I'm the sovereign here and you serve me. By doing that, you've then forced them into a criminal
Actually,
mindset. If they
that
go
was
through that.
something that Julie, you shared that thing about Jesus and all of those prayers about how I think that John and Peter got put in prison and they just invoked God, and then the doors were open.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it was like quite incredible.
Yeah,
It was
amazing.
really powerful, like calling in, because you have to ask for the divine help, intervention. It can't just intervene. You have to pray and invite it in, asking it as given.
Or even not
I
even,
know it's not.
I mean, in the Bible, it's
Yeah.
actually even stronger than that. It's claiming it. It's like, actually, this
Yes.
is mine.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is my divine right.
Yeah.
Bring it. And it's
I
there's
have it
nothing
now.
there's nothing subservient in the Bible
Yeah.
about the way Jesus tells us to be. It's very much claim it. you
Yeah.
know, this is mine. Claim it.
By divine right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
it's a
And
very
quite often
it's
different-
quite a powerful
yeah,
thing.
quite
you know?
often different people in the Bible and in the religious areas, they've been the ones that have been put out by the rest of the community, but they've ended up coming so that the rest of the community then realizes that they were actually didn't need to be demonized and
Yes.
holding the space.
And they become beacons,
Yeah.
which is what what
Yeah.
it's all about.
Weakness is strength.
Yeah.
Humility.
Well,
is the
gentleness
greatest
isn't it?
Yeah.
Gentleness for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that you don't positively assert.
No, it's fine. You're looking after yourself. You love yourself above all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Mm.
So anyway, it is 2:30. We have been an hour.
Hear from Roger?
We would like to hear from Roger before we go, certainly. I was going to discuss the AGM, but we're going to have a break for dinner, I think, for some lunch. Sorry, because I'm very northern and I call it dinner instead of lunch. So yeah,
You still can't see your face.
I don't.
That's it, well done.
No, thank you. Not now. Not now. Just wait. And so we're going to break soon, but we would like to hear from you first, Roger.
Well, I gather from what everybody's saying that we have to rely on our spiritual strength, and I 100% agree with that, because we have got to the point where even laws which can be proved to exist are not being applied. And when I say proved to exist, I mean the perception. We can all look at the perception and see what happened during the COVID period. Law was just trampled on completely. So, you know, we've gone past the stage where we can wholly, I'm not saying to some extent, we've gone back to the stage where we can wholly rely on the law, and that includes the contingencies of the Constitution, you know, which are still, to me, a little bit imponderable. I've got a bit more work to do on that, which you'll learn about as time goes on. Anyway, so that's my idea, and I don't regard belief in God and Jesus as religion. Religion is organized crime, as far as I'm concerned, because the people who are in charge of religion, we're talking about the Catholics, the Jehovah's Witnesses, the all the religions that we know, the Mormons, etc., etc. They don't represent our Creator or Jesus. Absolutely not. If you actually, which I have done, analyze their modus operandi and what they actually achieve, which is not Jesus or our Creator's aims and objectives. What they achieve is Satan's objectives. It's a big subject, so I can't go into it too thoroughly at this point in time. But I think we're on the right track if we start to understand that our spiritual strength is paramount, which all of you seem to do.
Totally. I think it's absolutely the way. So yeah, as I was saying, spirit piggybacks these systems, including organized religion, because the grassroots are actually quite sincere. So the spirit can use that. And yes, the top people might be doing exactly what you're saying, Satan's work, and it's up to the grassroots to keep their spirit up and stop that being used. So yeah, it's but you're right, it does come from a spiritual thing first. I didn't know it at the time. I thought I'd actually thought spirit was a luxury, you know, a spiritual thing was a bit of a luxury, and now realize it's absolutely the foundation that we have to build. It's not
what we are.
Yeah, it is what we are, and it's got to be behind everything that we do. It's not to say don't, you know, obviously grow crops and bring together communities and put health in place and all that sort of thing, but the spiritual stuff has to guide it. It has to be built first, and that's something that I think is much better achieved when we get into the physical, when we come together like this. I think this is wonderful. And
but also we wouldn't be here together if we hadn't had
yes. So we also are able to ride. We are also able to ride the systems that they put in place. Which is well done, us. Anyway, is everyone happy to close this section of the day at this point and say thank you? I know we haven't gone on to the onto other aspects of the agenda, but that was a lovely discussion. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
I want to make one point clear here. Okay. I don't criticize the people who follow the religious leaders. I know a lot of very good Christians, or purport to be Christians. I know a lot, and they're not the ones who are ruling the roost. There are a lot of very genuine, sincere Christians but they're the followers, not the leaders.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for that.
Lynn, can I just make a suggestion that actually everyone gets on the screen, because we could have a video and it could be for a photo. If everyone gets in, if everyone comes around here and
I can take a photo.
Yes, would you like to do that, darling? You can take your photo now. Go and stand over there and take a photo of let's come here.
You'll have to be here.
Excuse me.
So,
if everyone can see themselves in the screen. And do you want to come round here, Joe?
you take your photo from there, can you?
Yeah.
Can you go higher, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
and then we're side by side with Roger on the
Wave.
screen there. That's lovely.
Everyone wave
Assistant to the laptop.
for that. So
To the laptop at the moment, and then to the camera. Go on, then.
camera, to camera.
To camera.
I'm struggling to get the side on. I'm trying to get them on, but I can't.
So do
get
we
them
need
all on.
John to come in?
Yeah, we need John to come in and Dave. The boys need to come in. Maybe we can.
We have our photographer in chief here with her, with her little Instamatic.
Carrie, can you look up a little bit more? I can't get your face in the photo if you don't look up.
Great direction, guys.
She's good.
Yeah.
Harry! Oh dear.
Yeah.
Harry. Harry, can you go on your knees? Because I can't really get
Well, I am
you.
on my knees.
She's
Don't
quite
have to block
tall.
anyone else behind me.
I'll go higher then.
She'll sort us.
Don't worry.
That's it. Lean
I'll,
on me.
I'll
It's
do
fine.
this so you look like you've got two heads.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that.
Right, just check if you're on some photos. Harry, you're looking down a bit again.
Harry, you're
Smile.
There we go. I think we've got everyone out.
fail. Come on, me. Quick. Try another one. I think you moved the camera. Put that one down to develop and then try again.
Okay. Let me see. Harry, your hair's covering your face.
Picking on. Just let Carrie be. Let Carrie be and just take it. Perfect. Right.
Yeah.
We got there in the end. Honestly, give someone a camera and suddenly they're a film producer. Anyway, thank you, Roger. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. And I hope that next time we're in the physical. And thank you so much for being an MP. I think that's wonderful.
Well,
We
thank you for
definitely need
inviting.
that. We need your constitutional input for a start. It's just a brilliant thing to have.
Well, there's a long way to go yet.
Yeah, let me just stop the recording and then